Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here, and welcome to the second part of my detailed look at Dungeon Universalis. So I did want to mention one thing. The reason why I don't consider the Dark Player, the Overlord, the Dungeon Master role in this game to be adversarial is because I'm comparing it directly to a game like Descent 2.0. So in Descent 2.0, the heroes and the Overlord are directly competing with their own individual goals. And the Overlord's progress through his or her campaign is independent of the progress, or it's not, it's the Overlord has his or her own progression through the campaign, and the strength of the Overlord player relies on them winning scenarios, winning quests. They will not be able to progress as much if they lose against the heroes. So oftentimes, games of Descent 2.0 without the app, they end up just being races to see which side can complete their goal the quickest. Well, if you look through the quest book for Dungeon Universalis, from what I can tell, I haven't looked at every single quest, but flipping through the goals of each quest, only the heroes really have goals. The Dark Player does not have a goal outside of just creating, trying to stop the heroes from doing their goal. And so in that sense, it's not an adversarial Dark Player. The Dark Player is not trying to do anything except provide the challenge for the heroes. And so the Dark Player has the freedom to, to sometimes soften a blow, or maybe to have enemies retreat after a certain amount of time if the heroes are having a hard time. Now, there could be some scenarios in here in which the Dark Player has a adversarial goal, but I don't think there are. Just looking through here, it looks like the goals are always for the heroes. Additionally, the progress of the Dark Player in Dungeon Universalis is directly tied to the progress of the heroes. As the heroes grow stronger, so too does the Dark Player. So the Dark Player doesn't need to win to have more options. He is or she is just automatically given more options as the heroes progress. So in my opinion, if I were to play this as a one versus many, how I would play it is for the Dark Player to definitely wants to add some challenge and to add some elements to each quest to make it as challenging as possible. But more importantly, what the Dark Player, in my opinion, wants to do is just make sure everybody at the table is having fun. And so like that, you kind of have to play it like a dungeon master, to where you need to read your table. If the heroes are getting their butts kicked and they're not having any fun, pull some punches, rein things in. Maybe don't spring that trap that you have. Just make sure that everyone at the table is having as much fun as possible. So that's kind of what I mean. You could probably play it as purely adversarial, and yes, maybe then there might be some issues with balance. I'm not sure. I will never play it like that. So that's just kind of what I meant when I mentioned that in the last video. Anyhow, today we're going to take a brief look at some of the cardboard elements that come with this game. Now, we already looked at the player, the created player, the player sheets here, the character sheets. So you have your name, race, class. This is where you put your value points, and these are all your stats, and then you can have your special skills. And then these will be placed on these player mats here. These are cardboard player mats. Again, great use of that amazing cover there. And so as you create them, you can actually put these. So the character cards that come with the game, the pre-made characters, they're on poker-sized cards. So when you play with one of those, you'll put that here. But when you play with one of these, you can tear that off and you can put that on there, and it fits perfectly to where, and then you have your spells, your skills over here, your what you're holding in your hands, what you have on your body, probably a ring. I think those are called fate points. I can't quite remember. Health, your magic, your mana, and then down here things you're carrying in your backpack. So really nice player aid and player mat. It's not huge, doesn't take up a ton of room, not like the Madara ones, which take up like half my half my table, it seems like. And I probably would have preferred these just in black and white rather than this color here, but we can probably print those out from the website and print them in black and white to make them a little easier on the eyes. So that's that. Now, even though this game comes with an abundance of stuff, that is the full amount of chits. So we're not talking hundreds and hundreds of different chits. This isn't a sword and sorcery situation. You have 1, 2, these are all, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's just a handful of really different ones. Unfortunately, they are only printed on one side. I believe Oscar addressed that. He was saying that he didn't think it would be a big deal, but in hindsight, he realized that it kind of was. So I would imagine that if they do a second printing, that the chits will be printed on both sides. It does make looking for things sometimes kind of difficult. But yeah, I am happy with this little box here, this little jewelry box. I bought like 20 of these. I always buy them in big bulk from Amazon, and they fit these nice little chits pretty easily. And this does fit back in the box, so you will not need to be dealing with just like, tons and tons of little boxes of chits while you're playing the game. I definitely appreciate that. Then we also get some envelopes here to keep your characters in. They're okay. They're like woven paper, but I will probably just use plastic baggies, but nice of them to think of that. Okay, and then now we have the giant stack of cardboard. There is a ton of cardboard in here. Now this is maybe where you're going to be dealing with some of the other chits because of the dungeon features. Stuff like this looks like an alchemist's table or a sorcerer's table or something. So these are double-sided. The art's pretty nice on these. And again, I can't wait to show you guys the room and features, obstacles, decks. This will add a ton of variety and options for people to use in their player created quests, and just to add some variety to add quick variety. Some little bridges, looks like a jail cell or something. Horses, I guess you can get mounts in this game, and you can use horses in the maps. A bed, some catapults there. These represent the spaces. You will put these on the map to represent spaces where the heroes need to explore to reveal more of the map. So these are kind of like progress tokens. Then players might have to get here, and then once they get here and they do an explore action or something like that, then the game or the dark player will reveal more of the map. All right, some of the larger rooms. Looks like a table there, some rubble, some outside areas, like a cobblestone for some kind of like a town or something. Oh, that's cool, like a dock. So you can dock your ship. Lots of variety in these. Here are more examples of the dungeon features and furniture. Looks like you got some like arcane power, some ice walls and fire walls, some kind of portals there, some fog. Looks like a blacksmith station. some pots, another little table. Not sure what those are for. Treasure chests, pillars, trap doors. These are for entering and exiting the dungeon. So those will mark off the spaces where the heroes can leave or enter each of the scenarios or the quests. Look like a little throne room. All right, some more outdoor environments there. A giant crossbow, a hallway. There are the boats, a statue. And all of these are also labeled. So 26B and then 25A. So they are labeled. I love this tile. I remember seeing this printed out somewhere, maybe on the website or something, but this tile is one of my favorites in the game. I love the stairs going down, and there's these skeletons down here. It reminds me of something in one of the Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne. I believe this is what the Dark player is going to be keeping track of their points on that they can spend to place enemies and traps and obstacles. Another cool little tile there, kind of an indoor sewer. Some outdoor environment. Oh, that's nice. Kind of looks like an entrance to a castle or something. Another nice outdoor environment. I love all the variety in the tiles. I believe this is where the players are going to be keeping track of their achievement points, their kind of XP throughout the game. Big indoor pool. Nice lighting on that tile there. I like that. All right, there's a very big room. Probably like one of the quest rooms or something. I know you can also, they do have where you can combine tiles to make even larger rooms. Another big outdoor area there. Some stairway, spiral staircase. A big outdoor cobblestone, some lava. Oh, cool. That's awesome. A nice little river. And ooh, that's neat. That's really cool. A desert environment. Man, so much variety. This game is not wanting for variety. That is for sure. That's a cool tile. I like that. I like these magical globes there emanating their kind of arcane light or something. A little dragon relief there on the board, on the floor. Some runes there. Looks like bookshelves, some kind of shelves. Oh, portcullis and doors, I think. Oh, that's cool. Like an indoor tavern. Might be able to set up a tavern, have a nice little tavern start to an adventure. That'd be pretty cool. Some more stairs, some pits, more tables and barrels, more just kind of like generic rooms. Oh, that's awesome. Fireplace with some stuff around there. Yeah, you totally could make a tavern. Might maybe have a tavern brawl mode. I wonder if there are rules. I didn't see, but I wonder if there are rules for PvP where you could just play this as a purely PvP game. If you wanted to say, like, you could create, everybody creates, I don't know, 50 VP point hero and then have a battle in like a dungeon or something. That might actually be a really fun way to play the game. I really think the options are almost endless in this game. For as long as people are creative, we're going to be seeing a ton of really interesting things coming out from the community for this game. And then we get to the Standees. Yes. Thank you again. Another game that opted for Standees rather than full miniatures. I have read some not complaints, but people saying that there isn't a standee for every single enemy or creature in all of the bestiaries, and that makes sense. I mean, the bestiaries there are hundreds of creatures in those, so I think that you probably get enough to get by. You might have to proxy some things, but all of us, we have so many games with standees or miniatures that I don't see that being as a huge problem. I mean, if this was the only game you owned, maybe it might be a problem, but there are so many of these here that you can definitely find something to proxy. You know, with Dungeon Crusade coming out soon, that's going to come with a bunch of standees also, so we could probably use these and that and the ones from that and this. I would have liked to have seen, you know, custom cut shapes for each of the standees. I always like that, but I realize that that probably adds quite a bit of time and cost to the printing and design of them. So I won't fault them that much because you do get just an absolute ton of these. All different varieties of people and creatures in different settings. Big creatures, small creatures. A chef. Definitely like that. I mean, even like, you know, you just get like lions and bears, normal creatures. So you can, like I said, you can create like a hunting expedition. You could use that chef and like that merchant there to have some kind of like mundane adventure or something. There's like a giant shark, a megalodon, or a giant swamp creature. Halflings, oh, that's cool. They're actually like smaller. Some spiders, wolves, some dogs, a Rottweiler and a Doberman. Still more. Man, you get so many standees in this. And of course, these are all double-sided. And it looks like, I did not notice that, but on the other side, there are like 2 stats on each one. To tell you the truth, I am not sure what those stats mean. I never even looked at the back side of these, so it's probably health, maybe, I don't know. And it also has a copyright of the artist who did the work on each one. That is super cool. So if you really like one of them, you can find out. Oh, there's a Minotaur by Dean Spencer. Super cool. That dragon is by Dean Spencer. So, because I'm really interested in who the artists are, just because I'm you know, working on a game, and so I'm constantly like, okay, I like the art in this, so you know, keeping a list of people who I want to talk to do the art. If you are a fantasy artist and you are maybe interested in working with me on a solo only dungeon crawl, let me know. And let's see, this is the last one. So, but once again, a ton of variety in here. That is kind of the name of the game. This game is just like a ton of variety in the box. Everything you need, a dungeon diving toolkit, really. So, all right, so that was a look at the cardboard. Next episode will probably be the longest one because we're going to be taking a deep dive into all of the cards that you get in the game. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.